2026 budget statement and economic policy debate. Mr. Speaker, let us be clear. This 2026 budget must be evaluated and analyzed in a context, Mr. Speaker. And the context is the basis on which the current National Democratic Congress, Mahama administration, came to office. Mr. Speaker, they came to office on two fundamental pillars and commitment to the Ghanaian people. Two. Mr. Speaker, the first is to implement policies, programs, and interventions to reduce cost of living and cost of doing business. Mr. Speaker, the second is to create the hundreds and thousands of jobs for the teaming. We're pointing in the right direction. But it's also important for me to point out, Mr. Speaker, that this is principally as a result of the post-COVID-19 economic recovery plan by the Nana Addo Akufo-Addo government. Mr. Speaker, and secondly, also on account of the domestic gold purchase program, which was initiated by the Akufo-Addo administration. Mr. Speaker, indeed, in April 2024, specifically paragraph 232 of the 2024 budget, it was projected that by the end of 2025, inflation will ease to 8%. And inflation has been easing all the way to 8%. Mr. Speaker, this government committed to realizing these two commitments of reducing cost of living, cost of doing business, and ensuring that they reduce unemployment in our country, principally on one major policy commitment they made to the Ghanaian people, particularly the Ghanaian youth, the 24-hour economy. Mr. Speaker, let me refer this House to Chapter 2 of the NDC Manifesto, specifically paragraph 2.1 on page 22, where they said, Mr. Speaker, and I quote, the 24-hour economic policy, same jobs, 3 shifts, 3 people, the 24-hour economy is a deliberate policy intervention by the incoming NDC administration to stimulate economic growth by creating an enabling environment for businesses and public institutions to operate 24/7 in 3 shifts of 8 hours each, end quote. So, Speaker, in August 2024, at the launch of the NDC manifesto for the 2024 election, then candidate John Dramani Mahama, now President Mahama, Mr. Speaker, had this to say, and he said that the 24-hour economy is going to be coined in a slogan called 133 formula. And the president said, Mr. Speaker, and this is very important, the president said that Ghanaian youth will have this opportunity. One person will start a job, the same job, at 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., 8 hours. And from 4 p.m. to 12 midnight, another 8 hours, a second Ghanaian youth will take over. And that from 12 midnight to 8 a.m., another Ghanaian youth will take over, 8 hours. It means for one job, Mr. Speaker, one person will do 8 hours from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., another person will take the same job from 4 p.m. to 12 midnight, and the third person will take the job from 12 midnight to 8 a.m. Agenda 133 formula. Mr. Speaker, I want to contend and submit here. Mr. Speaker, that the Ministry of Finance itself today closes at 5 p.m. The Ministry of Finance is running an 8-hour economy. The Ministry of Finance is not running this 133 shift. Mr. Speaker, the 24-hour economy is not being implemented. Instead of that, Mr. Speaker, when our friends came into government, all they have been doing is sacking Ghanaian youth, is sacking young men who have been employed by the previous administration. Mr. Speaker, this is a reality. You can check it out yourself. Across the length and breadth of our country, in all sectors of our national life, in all sectors of our national economy, thousands of Ghanaian youth, innocent Ghanaian youth, some of them NDC sympathizers, some of them MPP sympathizers, some of them non-aligned, ordinary Ghanaian citizens are being sacked. We are not getting 24-hour economy. We are not getting Agenda 113. We are rather getting, Mr. Speaker, a sacking of Ghanaian youth. That is the lot of our people, our opponents from this side. Mr. Speaker, it's important for us to point out that, as I said, the current state of the Ghanaian economy, Mr. Speaker, the data may look good. The statistics may look good, but the truth is that the Ministry of Finance is not spending. Mr. Speaker, let's take a look at paragraph 123 of the 2026 budget. The budget itself, Mr. Speaker, indicates that for the first 3 quarters of 2025, the Ministry of Finance had projected to spend the sum of 207 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, the Finance Minister himself, in reporting to this House, has indicated that they have spent 175.9 billion Ghana cedis, a shortfall of 15%. Mr. Speaker, government spending, let us be clear, government spending anywhere in the world is a catalyst for growth. Yes. And when government spends, what they call the trickle-down economic effect. Mr. Speaker, it trickles down to every Ghanaian. Mr. Speaker, so when you lock the votes, when you lock the treasury, when you lock the exchequer, when you don't spend, it affects everybody. It affects the nurses, it affects contractors, it affects farmers, it affects each and every person. So I if you want evidence, this is real. I come from a rural constituency of Damango, a farming constituency. Today, Mr. Speaker, on 10th November 2025, Joy News reported, and I quote, "Farmers cry out over unsold rice as 1 million metric tons rot in storage," end quote. Mr. Speaker, we are being told today that 1 million metric tons of rice are packed in warehouses at a value, an estimated value of 15 billion Ghana cedis. Nobody can buy. In my constituency of Damango, Mr. Speaker, maize farmers are having a bad day. Groundnut farmers are having a bad day. It is principally because government is not spending, purchasing power is weakened, credit is unavailable, domestic produce cannot be absorbed, and money circulation is low, liquidity is not in the system. And that is why, Mr. Speaker, when you go out there on the streets of Ghana, the statement on the lips of many Ghanaians is that Finance Minister Atufor's money is just on paper. It's just on paper. Mr. Speaker, he makes allocations. Mr. Speaker, he makes allocations as he did when he appeared before this House. 1 billion for agriculture, 100 billion for that, this billion for that. But when you go and look at the actuals, releases are in many cases 30%. Finance Minister Atufor's money is only on paper. It's not in the pocket of ordinary citizens. Yes. It's not in the pocket of farmers, Mr. Speaker. Yes. It's not in the pocket of teachers. Yes. It's not in the pocket of nurses. Yes. And certainly it's not in the pocket of the unemployed, struggling Ghanaian youth. Yes. Mr. Speaker, so our friends must get it clear. You can have all the data, you can have all the statistics, you can quieten the economy, you can close down economic activity, you will not have real economic growth in the real sectors, your books will look good, but in the end, you will realize, Mr. Speaker, that on the streets, grassroots economics will tell you that people are really having a hard time. And ministers across here, Mr. Speaker, our friends, our colleagues, ministers, will attest to what I'm saying. No jobs are happening in the ministries because ministers will not get money to do their work. Ministries, departments, and agencies are not receiving any payment to be able to provide goods and services for the Ghanaian people. Mr. Speaker, this government, we want to caution and encourage them to get their priorities right. Mr. Speaker, they should invest in the real sectors. They should invest in agriculture. They should invest in infrastructure. They should invest in the service industry. They should invest in manufacturing. They should invest in areas which will unleash jobs and prosperity for the Ghanaian people. Mr. Speaker, but instead, what are they spending on? Mr. Speaker, what are they spending on? And by that, Mr. Speaker, by that, let me refer, Mr. Speaker, to the monetary policy report of the Bank of Ghana, dated September 2025, specifically page 21, Mr. Speaker, where the Bank of Ghana, the central bank of our country itself, has said The three major threats to the national economy of our country, Mr. Speaker, continue to be, in their own words, increasing energy sector payments, revenue performance, rising compensation cost. The emphasis is mine, Mr. Speaker. I refer to rising compensation cost. Mr. Speaker, we have been promised a lean government, and we've been told that we have a lean government. But you have a lean government that is lean on the arms, lean on the limbs, lean in every part, but very bloated on the stomach. A Koshoko lean government. Mr. Speaker, you have a lean government where we have a special envoy for reparations, special envoy to the Caribbean regions, 18 deputy heads of missions. Mr. Speaker, if you want to get the evidence, this is your evidence. Mr. Speaker, in 2024, President Akufo-Addo's government, the distinguished and illustrious president of our country, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. Mr. Speaker, his government, Office of the President in 2024, Mr. Speaker, spent 326 million cedis on compensation in paying government workers, paying ministers, deputy ministers, presidential staffers. Mr. Speaker, in 2025, President Mahama's government, Office of the President, President Mahama's government has spent a whooping 540 million Ghana cedis on compensation. 50% increment. Mr. Speaker, so why can't we interrogate this? You have one government that is supposed to have a bloated government, another government that is supposed to have a lean government. The government that has a lean government is spent 356 million Ghana cedis on compensation. That is salary, paying salaries to their workers. The bloated government rather spends 547 million, 50% more, which is why, Mr. Speaker, I say that this is a Koshoko lean government. It is lean on the legs, it's lean on the limbs. Mr. Speaker, it is bloated with consumption because you are spending a lot. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude. In spite of all these problems, the government, Mr. Speaker, in spite of all these problems, the government wants to spend 1.2 billion United States dollars to purchase presidential debts. To purchase presidential debts. 1.2 billion Ghana cedis to purchase presidential debt. Mr. Speaker, I'm talking about 1.2 billion United States dollars to purchase presidential debt. When you cannot pay nurses, when you cannot pay teachers, when you cannot buy farm produce, when you cannot recruit workers. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude. President Mahama taught us and reminded the country that President Akufo-Addo should take charge. He should not engage in blame game. That is responsible for resolving the problems of this country. President Mahama should take charge. Mr. Speaker, I should take charge, and this minority, this MPP minority,
yes,
this MPP minority, this mighty minority, we are saying, so far, so not well. So
yes,
far, so not
leader.
good. So far, so much unemployment and suffering. That is what this 2026 budget is offering the Ghanaian people. Suffering and unemployment. I thank you, Mr.
Majority
Speaker.
Leader, you have the floor. You have the floor. Yes, Majority Leader. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, we agreed from the onset. To allow free flow of debate, and we're all committed to that. But then we caution that we should be accurate in our statistics and our figures. Mr. Speaker, he said that in this budget, 1.2 $1.2 billion. $1.2 billion has been allocated to buy a presidential jet. Mr. Speaker, he should just show us which line item contained in the budget has an allocation or a proposal of $1.2 billion for the purchase of a presidential jet. Mr. Speaker, it is important. This is a House of Records. Otherwise, you have to expunge this from the records of this House. Because nowhere in this budget is $1.2 billion allocated for the purchase of a presidential jet. $1.2 billion. How much is Air Force One? Air Force One, how much does it cost? How much does Air Force One cost? For us to allocate $1.2 billion for a presidential jet. Mr. Speaker, he should show us. He should show us $1.2 billion United States dollars for a presidential jet. I want to see that.
Yes, honorable member.
Mr.
First,
Speaker,
mention the page so that everybody can be with you.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. And Mr. Speaker, let me thank you for the opportunity to respond to the Honorable Majority Leader and to answer his inquiry. Mr. Speaker, may I refer the House to page 184 of the budget statement. Mr. Speaker, and at page 184 of the budget statement, you will see retooling of the Air Force. Mr. Speaker, and retooling of the Air Force, you will see CAPEX. Mr. Speaker, CAPEX meaning capital expenditure. Mr. Speaker, capital expenditure. And Mr. Speaker, I referred only to the two presidential jets, which I referred to the two presidential jets, which are. But Mr. Speaker, if you have the budget there, please, if you have the budget with you, you will see. Mr. Speaker, if you have the budget at page 184, you will see at CAPEX that what is actually being budgeted for the retooling of the Ghana Armed Forces is Ghana Air Force. Mr. Speaker, is 2.5 billion. 2.5 billion.
Is it dollars or cedis?
2.5 billion Ghana cedis. Hold on. Mr. Speaker, hold on. Mr. Speaker, hold on. Mr. Speaker, hold on. Mr. Speaker, 2.5 billion to buy two presidential jets. And Mr. Speaker, you will see again at paragraphs 1087 and 1091 of the budget statement, 1091 of the budget statement, that $1.2 billion is being programmed, Mr. Speaker, to buy two presidential jets, 4 helicopters.
You are calling another paragraph.
No, Mr. Speaker, no, I'm making a point. And the point I made, Mr. Speaker, the point I sought to make was that if you have this amount of money, teachers have not been paid, nurses have not been paid, farmers' produce are not being bought, market women are complaining about purchases. There are numerous problems in our country. Why will you spend $1.2 billion to buy two presidential jets, 4 helicopters, and 1 ship? That is the point I've made, Mr. Speaker. That's the point.
Honourable members, I think that when the figure is quoted in cedis and you want to quote it from the budget, you have to quote what exactly is in the budget. Ghana cedis is quite different from dollars. Honourable members, because the figure quoted by the former Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, he placed on the record dollars. When given the opportunity, he now mentions cities.
Mr. Speaker, with the greatest of respect, Mr. Speaker, this is a house of record. Mr. Speaker,
yes.
This is a house of record.
Honorable Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, and it's a matter of personal integrity. Let me state my position. Mr. Speaker, I am prepared to be corrected if I'm wrong, but in this case, I'm not wrong. Mr. Speaker, with the greatest respect, this is a matter of personal integrity. Mr. Speaker,
but in your debate, you quoted dollars.
No, but what the dollars is $1.2 billion to buy 2 presidential jets, 4 helicopters, and 1 ship.
Which page of the budget?
That is the point I'm making. And you will find it at paragraph 1087 and 1091 of the budget. Mr. Speaker, what I refer to in the budget itself, Mr. Speaker, what I refer to in the budget itself is a retooling of Ghana Air Force at the CAPEX column, which is the capital expenditure, which is retooling of Ghana Air Force, which is 2.5 billion Ghana cedis. The 1.2 billion United States dollars is for the purchase of 2 presidential jets, 4 helicopters, 1 ship.
Mention which item in the budget.
And in no humility and modesty, I'm a lawyer. I've checked my facts out.
Mention the line item in the budget.
And I know what I'm talking about. It's $1.2 billion.
Yes, Honorable Ayariga. Yes, Honorable Ayariga.
I have it. Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
This is a house of records. This is a house of records. And the honorable member who just spoke is a former cabinet minister for lands and natural resources. I need not to lecture him on the value and importance of accuracy. Mr. Speaker, he referred us to page 184, and I have opened page 184 and item 34, Ministry of Defense. Let's go through the items. The third item under Ministry of Defense is retooling of the Air Force. Retooling of the Air Force. And the figure there, CAPEX, is 2,532 million Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker,
Yes. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I went to primary school in Boku. You may doubt the quality of the schools in Boku, but I cannot imagine which primary school you went, where you were taught that if you convert 2 billion into dollars, you get 1 billion. I don't know which primary school you went to. I went to Boku, a primary school in Boku, and I know that if you use the exchange rate at the Bank of Ghana, what's the figure? 200. You get $260 million. $260 million. How can you say that when you convert 2 billion, you get $1 billion? How can you convert 2 billion Ghana cedis and get $1 billion? What kind of mathematics did you learn in school? Where did you learn mathematics? Which primary school did you attend? How can you convert 2 billion Ghana cedis and get $1.5 billion? In any case, Mr. Speaker, he said the allocation was for a presidential jet. He said a a presidential jet. The records will bear us out. The videos are there. You said a presidential jet, $1.2 billion. How much is Air Force One? Air Force One, how much is it? How much is Air Force One? Mr. Speaker, he must withdraw. He must withdraw, and it must be expunged from our records.
Honourable members will get to the root of this matter.
This debate has been plagued with lies, inaccuracies, fabricated figures by the minority in order to bolster their argument. We will not accept it. You must be accurate in this debate. I will oppose you.
Order. Honorable Samuel Abdullahi Jinapor. Now, an issue has been raised about you quoting $1.2 billion. Now, for presidential jet. Now we are debating the budget. You claimed that the figure is emanating from the budget. The question is, take us to the budget item that indicated $1.2 billion for presidential jets. So take us to the line item in the budget. If we do not have it in the line item in the budget, then do the honorable thing.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and I should particularly thank you for your indulgence, as this matter borders on my personal integrity. Mr. Speaker, if I got it wrong, I will have no difficulty by withdrawing and apologizing and moving on. But Mr. Speaker, let me crave your indulgence. Mr. Speaker, let me crave your indulgence by indicating to my senior brother, the majority leader, that I also went to Fufuso Primary School in the Savannah region. Mr. Speaker, the majority leader asked me a question. He posed a question to me that where did I attend my basic school? Mr. Speaker, I attended my basic school in Fufuso Preparatory Primary School in the Savannah region. Mr. Speaker, when I was in primary school, I sat on the floor and I was in a modest primary school. I know that the majority leader, having attended school in Boko, proceeded to school in Harvard. And he's had very great height. That is commendable, and I salute him for that. Mr. Speaker, like many Ghanaians, I schooled in modest circumstances. Mr. Speaker, I will please, Mr. Speaker, before I proceed, Mr. Speaker, I know you are a man of fairness and justice. I know that. Mr. Speaker, and I know that you will not allow any member of this House, regardless of his status in this House, to disrespect, to denigrate, to demean myself, and by extension, the thousands and millions of Ghanaians who went to school in deprived communities. And Mr. Speaker, before I proceed to answer your question, and with the greatest of respect, Mr. Speaker, with the greatest of respect to you, may I humbly, very humbly, and kindly plead with my senior brother, the majority leader, the leader of this House, the man who leads all of us, and the man who guides all of us, to please kindly do the needful by withdrawing and apologizing to my modest, humble self and the thousands of Ghanaians for this insult. Before I proceed.
Honourable members, order. Honourable members, order. Honourable members, order. Honourable members, let's have order. Honourable members, let's listen to each other in silence. Honourable Samuel Abdullah Jinapor, I'm capable of dealing with all issues together. So just answer my question, and in conclusion, you will see what I will do. Honourable members, I have listened to both sides. I know what to do in the circumstances. So let's get the main issue resolved, and I will give consequential orders. Honourable members, I will give consequential orders. So my question is on the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Order! Honourable members.
Mr. Speaker. May I proceed, Mr. Speaker?
Yes, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, out of respect to you, I will proceed to give the answer. And by giving the answer, Mr. Speaker, I refer the House to page 136 of the budget. Specifically, 136 of the budget. Mr. Speaker, page 136 of the budget. Specifically paragraph, why? No. Mr. Speaker, specifically paragraphs 1091 and 1092. And I quote, Mr. Speaker, and I quote, Mr. Speaker, this is what the Finance Minister said to this House. Mr. Speaker, the Ghana Air Force will be retooled. Beginning 2026, the government of Ghana will begin the procurement processes for the acquisition of 4 modern helicopters, 1 long range and 1 medium range aircrafts. Mr. Speaker, these aircrafts are expected to be delivered in 4 years' time if the procurement processes are completed in 2026. And then, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, why?
And then, Mr. Speaker, I then refer the House to page 184. Page 184 of the budget statement. Mr. Speaker, under item 34 titled Ministry of Defense. Mr. Speaker, where it is captured retooling of the Air Force, where the CAPEX, capital expenditure, is quoted by 2.5 billion cedis. Mr. Speaker, if you multiply that by 4 years, which the Finance Minister has indicated in page 136, if you multiply that by 4 years, which the Finance Minister has multiplied in the page 184. Mr. Speaker, every year they will provide for it. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude. Mr. Speaker, let me conclude that the statement I made in my contribution to the debate of the budget is on firm grounds, it's on terra firma. They are beginning this year and they are going to continue for 4 years, and this year 2.5 billion have been programmed. If you multiply it by 4, it's $1.2 billion to buy 1 ship, to buy 4 helicopters, and to buy 2 presidential jets. Mr. Speaker, the facts and the data are unimpeachable and unequivocal. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, order.
Mr. Speaker, and now we are waiting for the apology. We are waiting for the apology.
Honourable members, order. Honourable members. Honourable members, order. Honourable members, order. Before I begin to name and shame. Honourable members, no one judges a swimmer by the certificate on the shore. You cannot be judged a best swimmer by showing your certificate on the shore. The budget statement is before us. And I can conclusively say that nowhere in the budget statement has a dollar been indicated. Because all relevant pages that are referred to, we can all see that dollar has not been mentioned. Therefore, the submission referring to page 136 of the budget, as well as page 184 of the budget. We all have copies of the budget, and we cannot see any dollar mentioned. Honourable members, paragraph 1091 and paragraph 1092 has been mentioned. Honourable members, if you look at those paragraphs, as a matter of fact, those paragraphs never mention any figure. Honourable members, I will consequentially order that because the honourable member did not refer to a specific page in which the dollar is indicated, everything said by the honourable member in dollar should be expunged completely from the record. Now, Honourable Majority Leader, the honourable member indicated clearly that you have attended basic school somewhere. You don't know which school he has attended. He has taken an offense from it. So, Honourable Majority Leader, you are brothers and you are friends. I will call on you to have that withdrawn, and then we can make progress.
Mr. Speaker, Fufulsu Primary School is a very good primary school. I know very, very senior civil servants and academics who are products of Fufulsu Primary School. And I know that you had a good maths teacher in that school. I know you had a good maths teacher in that school. Mr. Speaker, because I know that you had a good maths teacher in that school, that's why I'm surprised that when you convert 2 billion Ghana cedis, when you convert 2 billion Ghana cedis into dollars, you get 1.2 billion. When you convert 2 billion Ghana cedis, you get $1.2 billion. I was surprised because I know the school is very good, and I know you had a good maths teacher. So it is obvious that it is not the school. It is not the school. The school is good. The maths teacher was good. The teachers are good. But how you get $1.2 billion from 2 billion Ghana cedis still baffles me. But Mr. Speaker, if he feels offended, I, who went to Boku in a primary school, was taught to apologize and withdraw. So I apologize and I withdraw.
Honorable members, we need to make progress.
It's not fair, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, thank
Honorable
you.
members, we need to make progress.
Mr. Speaker, thank you.
We need to make. I'm not giving you the floor. Honorable former Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, kindly resume your seat. Kindly resume your seat. Honorable members, how long are we going to continue to debate this issue? The honorable member has withdrawn and apologized to you. Honorable Abdullahi, we give you the opportunity. You refer us to page 136 of the budget, and you again refer us to page 184 of the budget. What you said is not contained in the budget. That is why I have directed that it be withdrawn. It be withdrawn or expunged from the record. Our friends of the media, I indicated again that honorable member refer us to paragraph 136 and 184. I have not seen any 1.2 billion in paragraph 136. I have not seen it in paragraph 184. So accordingly, I have directed that same should be expunged from the record. Can we make progress? Honorable Chief Whip, I intend not to open this debate again. So we should make progress. With all due respect, Honorable Minority Chief Whip, we have closed the curtain on this with an apology emanating from the minister. So he has withdrawn and apologized.
The leader spoke.
He took offense from something and he has withdrawn and apologized.
We in leadership have a responsibility. Unless you don't want me to speak, this parliament has two sides. Regardless of your numbers. Let's look at the figures.
That is
the majority leader got up 3 times. He caught your attention. I have been trying to catch your attention. Speaker, we want to get to the bottom of this matter. And Speaker, I invite you to the budget. Everybody should take the budget. Those who have copies should take the budget. No, I insist. Take the budget. Speaker, come with me to page 1.
Honorable Minority Chief Whip,
Speaker,
we have resolved this particular matter.
So listen to us. Listen to us. Nothing is here. It's here. No, but why did you give it to the next video? Why did you give it to the next debater? Speaker,
Honorable Minority Chief Whip. Honorable Minority Chief Whip. There is a principle.
No, Speaker.
There is a principle that he who accepts, he who accepts must attempt to prove.
I want to prove.
You are not making any assertion. I have given him the opportunity, and he took us to the necessary relevant pages from which he is speaking.
You should listen to me. Mr. Speaker, I thank you, Mr. Speaker, and we'll settle this matter here. Look, with the greatest respect, everybody, you can take the budget. Now, Speaker, if you have the budget, I'm starting from page 184. Page 184. Now, if you look at page 184, and then you come under item 34, 1, 2, 3, retooling of Air Force. That's the first figure I want to quote. No. The figure there is 2.6 billion Ghana cedis. Now, note it, write it down. And then let's move on to page 190.
Which is a commitment for 2027.
Now, that is a commitment for 2027 under the same description. Retooling of the Air Force, and that is 3.5 billion Ghana cedis. Now let's move on.
Page 196.
Now, Speaker, page 196, page 916. Under the same description, retooling of the Air Force, and that is 3.3 billion as against the year 2028. Now let's move on.
Budget.
Which is 208.
Now, then we go to page. No, be patient. No. Now, Speaker, come with me to page 202. Under the same description, retooling of the Air Force, it comes up to some 3.5 billion Ghana cedis. Now, why are you in a hurry? Now, Speaker, I attended Whole Anglican Primary School.
We have moved away from the school that we have attended.
Well, it's just by the way. Now, when you put all that together, Speaker, when you put all that together, even granted that even your mathematics is so bad, if you put all the four together, it comes up to 4 years. 4 years. It's captured in the budget. It comes up to 12.9 billion Ghana cedis. Now, who divided yourself?
11. Maybe 11. So we'll get back.
Divide it quickly. I want to convert to dollars. Yes. You people, why are you running away for your budget? Nothing is here. It's here. It comes out to what? The dollars?
It comes out to 1.29 billion.
Okay. Yes. It is 11 or 10? 10. Now, Speaker, do a simple arithmetic in your bid to convert it into dollars. A simple arithmetic. Divide that figure by 10. Some 1.29 million, right?
You are dividing it by what? You are dividing it by what?
$1.29 billion.
You are dividing it by what?
Now you see.
Hello, Honorable Minority Chief Whip. You are dividing it by what?
Speaker, can I conclude? I want to conclude. Our majority leader, clearly, leader, your Boku mathematics is suspect. Majority leader, revisit your Boku mathematics. Your Boku mathematics is suspect. Now, we are not inventing these figures. These figures were prepared at the instance of the president by the finance minister. If you doubt, majority leader, don't oscillate. Don't oscillate. If you doubt these figures, I quoted the pages to you, and I quoted the figures to you. If you doubt it, come back and respond to these figures. Mr. Speaker, we beg you. Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minority Chief. You are done.
I'm not done.
Are you done?
Speaker, we are saying we have insisted in all our presentations. It has been based on facts. In all our presentation, it has been based on facts.
Honorable Minority Chief Whip. Honorable Minority Chief Whip. I believe you agree with me that all the pages that you have referred to and all the figures that you have quoted, none is in dollars. Yes, Majority Leader, you have the floor. Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Majority Leader, you have the floor. Yeah, so clearly, Can I conclude? Oh, leader, I want to conclude so I can speak.
Oh, I thought you've concluded.
You're the leader of the house. You have heard so many times. Let me conclude and you can speak.
I thought you have concluded.
So, we don't need to belabor the point. My respected ranking member was on all fours in terms of the facts. Mr. Speaker, you can argue that the figure is not quoted in dollars. Yes, but you can do the conversion. When you do the conversion, he's not far from right. He's not far from right. Madam Leader, I beg you.
Honorable Minority Chief,
if it is the case,
why would the figure be quoted in our legal tender?
Well,
then you will be doing conversion. Yes, Honorable Majority Leader, you have the floor.
You have the floor.
You have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, let's not forget what was the issue. Let's get back to what was really the issue. The honorable member in the debate
Honorable Samuel Abu Jinapor. Honorable Samuel Abu Jinapor, I think you have to stop what you are doing.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
What was the issue? In Honorable Jinapor's submissions, in his comments, he said that we were buying a presidential jet for $1.2 billion. He said we're buying a presidential jet for $1.2 billion. That was why I got up. I normally don't interrupt debate. I have a book. I take note of everybody's argument. As I'm sitting, I'm writing. I take note of everybody's argument because I will have an opportunity to respond in the end. But when you throw out a figure out there that we are buying a presidential jet for $1.2 billion, the cameras captured it. We can play it back. The cameras captured it. That was why I got up on my feet and said, no, it's not possible. I even asked you, how much does Air Force One cost? So clearly he was wrong. When you now get up and say that all commitments for the next 4 years for retool.
Honorable members, I am observing carefully the disorderly conduct.
Mr. Speaker, I was in this chamber sometimes, I think more than a decade before many of you arrived. What you are doing, we've done Westerns. So I can assure you, it won't stop me from making my point. I'm saying that it will not stop me from making the point I want to make today. Even if we will sit here till midnight, my point I will make. And the point is that you lied when you said that we are spending $1.2 billion to buy a presidential jet. You lied. You lied. You lied. You are now trying to correct yourself by saying that all commitments for the next 4 years to retool the Air Force.
Honorable Majority Leader.
To retool the Air Force is $1.2 billion.
Honorable Majority Leader, with all due respect, the statement may not be correct, but the use of the word lied. I will ask that the lie be expunged. Order. I have given my directives. So, all should resume their seats. So, Majority Leader, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, if there's nothing in the budget, that says that the government is buying a presidential jet for 1.2 billion, and a member stands and says that the government is buying a presidential jet for 1.2 billion, he has lied. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. What? Okay, so Mr. Speaker, do you want me to say that he was peddling falsehood? It's a lie. So, Mr. Speaker, it's a lie. And when we try to correct that, you now go and then take 4 years commitment for retooling the Air Force, and you now say that, oh, it justifies your earlier misrepresentation. You misrepresented. It's not in the budget. We're discussing 2026. It is possible for us to change the figures in 2027. We can change the figures in 2028, depending on the performance of the economy. So I don't have a problem. I'm not running away from spending 1.2 billion to retool our Air Force. I'm not running away. On the contrary, we in the NDC are very proud that we are able to spend 1.2 billion to retool our Air Force. We are very proud. You run the economy down. You mismanage the economy. You could not even raise money. You could not raise money to support the Air Force. We are confident. We are proud. We are happy that we have the capacity, and in the next 4 years, we will retool the Ghana Air Force and we will invest 1.2 billion United States dollars in the Air Force. We will. In the Air Force. We will. For 4 years. That's a problem. So, Mr. Speaker, I still stand my grounds that when he said that we are purchasing a presidential jet for 1.2 billion United States dollars, it is not in the records, and your decision that it should be struck off the records is right. If you go and tabulate all planned expenditure on retooling the Air Force, not buying a presidential jet, I will oppose. I will lead this house. I will lead this side. And if they don't support me, I will lead whoever is willing to be led to oppose using 1.2 billion of our money to buy a presidential jet. I will oppose it. But Mr. Speaker, I am happy. I am proud. I support the finance minister in the next 4 years, to invest $1.2 billion in retooling our Air Force. I support it.
Yes, former defense minister.
Mr. Speaker, the majority leader is the leader of the House, and he's supposed to help you to control the House with the others. But when he misleads the House, especially the fact that I'm sitting here, Mr. Speaker, I have the right to correct him. Mr. Speaker, we came here in 2023, Mr. Speaker, no, 2022, Mr. Speaker, July. I laid in this house the purchase of 6 LNG fighter jets for this our nation. Mr. Speaker, the cost of those aircraft at that time, the commitment we gave this nation was 150 million euro at a rate of at a rate of 15 cedis to €1. If you calculate, that's 1.6 billion Ghana cedi. Mr. Speaker, we committed this nation at one time, not 4 years, to 1.6 billion Ghana cedi. So when you say that we didn't do it, that is not true. That's the first thing I want you to know. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, secondly, it is a fact that your side led the rejection of the purchase of just one presidential jet. One. Today you want to buy two. And you will not apologize to the people of Ghana.
Who did that? It was Dr. Kwabena Dufo, and when he finished, people gave him a name. They said it was unprecedented. 3 years of single-digit inflation. When Osafo Manfu did it, they were calling him Oya DA Osafo Manfu. If it's about cutting taxes, in 2017, Ken Oforiatta cut over 14 taxes. Go and see the way they were jubilating in Abosokai. Mr. Speaker, if we, the political class, continue with this exercise of exciting ourselves and dancing over these temporary gains, and we don't deal with the structural issues, all you need is one major shock to the Ghanaian economy and you are back to square one. Mr. Speaker, I want to draw the attention of my colleagues to the tables, and I beg of them to take time and read the tables. Let me take them to Appendix 2A. Appendix 2A. Mr. Speaker, I ask them to please take their budgets and read with me Appendix 2A. Half year when we came to this chamber, we warned our colleagues on the government bench that the revenue measures you have put in place, contrary to your thinking that it will raise more revenue so that you can meet your expenditure commitments, it will not meet the targets. Mr. Speaker, half year when we came here, revenue was underperforming by 3 billion Ghana cedis. In fact, if you read the all of government reports published by the Controller and Accountant General, contrary to their claim that we didn't leave them buffers, the balance brought forward from 2024 is 11 billion Ghana cedis. If you add that to the 3 billion, their revenue shortfall at half year was 14 billion. Mr. Speaker, as at now, the revenue shortfall is 8 billion. If you look at the numbers, 8 billion. And if you add that 11 billion to it, that is 19 billion. Mr. Speaker, if Hansard and our colleagues who are here will be truthful to themselves, mid-year, we told them here that by the end of the year, they will have to cut expenditure by 30 billion because their revenue is not performing. Today, when you look at the tables, you have cut expenditure by 28 billion. Then you will cut 30 billion because revenue is not performing. Why is that important? Because, Mr. Speaker, all the promises that you make, if you are not able to mobilize the revenue, you cannot fulfill it. If you go into the tables and you find the numbers that were promised us, the team from finance told us that they were going to remove taxes and they won't bring new taxes. And that after they have implemented this new fiscal strategy, they will get more revenue. Remember, the finance minister told us that he was going to move tax to GDP ratio, in fact, revenue to GDP ratio, from 13% to 18%. I'm sure we all remember. Mr. Speaker, when we were leaving power, revenue as a percentage of GDP was 16%. After they implemented their strategy, revenue is now underperforming. It's now at 11% of GDP. Colleagues, if you haven't taken time to look at the tables, you have lost 5% of GDP on revenue. You think there's more money? 5% of GDP, that is 5% of 1 trillion, is 50 billion Ghana cedis. If you don't understand it, please let me explain some more. What boka 50 billion? And that is why you have had to cut your expenses. And Mr. Speaker, the expenses they have cut, it's not just numbers. The 28 billion they have cut is not numbers. They are teachers who were waiting to be recruited. And because this government has played politics with the revenue strategy, they are at home. They are nurses who were waiting to be recruited. Because you have played politics with the revenue strategy, they are sitting at home. They are contractors who are waiting to be paid. And because you have been doing politics with the revenue strategy, they have not been paid. Mr. Speaker, they are the flagship programs that young Ghanaians are waiting for this government to fund. And because they've been doing politics with it, they cannot fund even their own flagship programs. So, Mr. Speaker, when we are drawing their attention to the fact that their revenue strategy is not performing, they can dance and sing as much as they want in the chamber. The results out there will show them. Mr. Speaker, 2025, they promised to spend 51 million Ghana cedis on the Women's Bank. They did not spend it. Then this year, without providing any report on it, they announced that they've increased the budget to 400 million and that it is a credible budget. Does that sound like credibility to you? 2025, you promised 1.5 billion to the agri sector to improve agriculture. You haven't done much. In fact, it took 1 day to the budget before they launched in Nkukong Kitinkiti. Zero work done. And then now you come and promise 2 billion cedis for agri, and you say it is a credible budget. Does that sound credible to you? You promised 300 million for apprenticeship program. Where are the apprentices? What work are they doing? Nothing happens, and then you come back and promise another 170 million. Does that sound like credibility? So, colleagues, in all humility, if you stop dancing in the chamber and pay attention to the numbers, you realize that you have a big problem. In fact, we all have a big problem that we have to fix. When you say this, then they say, oh, the cedi has appreciated by 30%. Inflation is down. Monetary policy rate is down. And so by Papa. Mr. Speaker, let me take my time to draw their attention once again to a few more things. In the beginning, we told them that, colleagues, this currency that has appreciated by 30% is a matter of fact, but it is because you are pumping dollars into the economy. You will recall, Mr. Speaker, that when we said it, the governor of the central bank told us on the 30th of April 2025, and I quote, "The Bank of Ghana is not injecting dollars to support the cedi stability." This is a matter of record. We kept insisting that they were pumping. So when the Bishops' Conference visited the president at Jubilee House, they inquired of him that, Mr. President, the minority said that you are pumping and that the fundamentals haven't changed. Mr. President told them that no, it's not true, and that it is effective leadership that was leading to the gains of the cedi. We kept reading the summary of economic and financial data and telling them that, colleagues, you are pumping. It took the IMF to draw their attention and ask them to stop, and then the depreciation resumed. When it resumed, by the 10th of September, when the president held the press conference, the media asked him that, Mr. President, it has started depreciating again. That was when the president admitted and said the Bank of Ghana had been intervening, and it is when they stopped that the depreciation has resumed. Mr. Speaker, the IMF has instructed the central bank, and I can say on authority, that henceforth, every month before they pump, they should announce. And that is why on the 5th of October, the Bank of Ghana announced that they were going to pump 1.15, and on the 3rd of November, they announced that they were going to pump another 1 billion. Mr. Speaker, from January till now, the Bank of Ghana has pumped not less than 8 billion cedis to shore up, $8 billion, I beg your pardon, to shore up the currency. Ghana's import bill so far is about $14 billion. So the normal supply of dollar in the economy will give us problems. It is this pumping that is holding us up. Mr. Speaker, what we should do is to take advantage of the windfall forex that we are getting from the gold purchase program and fix the structural issues. Else you can dance as much as you want in the chamber. If we are hit by one challenge, we will be in trouble. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to inflation, if you don't tackle the supply side issues, and all that you are doing is that you are sterilizing, the consequence, Mr. Speaker, will be that you will claim inflation has come down, but the lived experience of people out there will be that the prices of the average goods and services they are buying is going up. Mr. Speaker, if you say that the monetary policy rate of the central bank has come down, so interest rates are solid, I beg of you to check the average lending rate and the stock of credit to private sector. You will find that it hasn't reflected. So we have serious issues to deal with. We should not reduce it to name calling and dancing and singing. Else, one major shock, we'll be back to where we are. Now, Mr. Speaker, let me focus my attention on the real sector. Agric, you promised 1.5 billion investment into two major things, Feed Ghana and Nkukong Kitinkiti. Nkukong Kitinkiti, you launched it 1 day before you came to read the second of your 4 budgets. So how much investment has gone into it? Zero. Feed Ghana, how much has gone into it? Where are the farmers who are supposedly benefiting from it for it to lead to an improvement in agriculture? So real sector investment, growth and jobs is not happening. Industry, you inherited a 24-hour economy program. You said it was a bad program. In fact, you inherited a 1D, 1F program. I beg your pardon. You said it was a bad program and that you are replacing it with a 24-hour economy program. No problem.
So
When
should I ask that you inherited 24-hour economy should be expunged from the record?
No, they inherited a 1D, 1F program. And then they said it wasn't good for purpose, and so they were replacing it with a 24-hour economy program. Mr. Speaker, the National Development Planning Commission of the Republic of Ghana has reported that the 1B, 1F program left 150 factories that were functioning. That is 18 factories a year. So in 2025, when you suspended the 1B, 1F program, the opportunity cost is 18 factories that could have created jobs for young people. You said 24-hour economy program. Where are the factories? How many jobs? You ended up even by telling us that in 2026, we should not expect a program and a budget. Now you say you are going to give us 110 million for the 24-hour economy factory. You have no program to create industrial jobs. Mr. Speaker, in the budget, they say they are going to create 800,000 jobs. And I saw my brother John Dumelo dancing at the back there that Addo is forcing because he's announced 800,000 jobs. They forgot that the next paragraph says that 490,000 of those jobs are laborers. Paragraph 501, please listen. Mr. Speaker, 63 billion Ghana cedis worth of road contracts awarded so far under the big push, and it will generate 490,000 jobs. So your 800,000 jobs that you are announcing in your own budget, almost 500,000 of them are going to be manual labor on road projects. I was in Cape Coast University 2 days ago. The students who are about to graduate, those in the technical universities, you don't have plans for them. Mr. Speaker, I want to conclude by reminding our colleagues that if this budget really intends to create growth and jobs, they need to be investing in the job-creating initiatives. You can make all the noise that you want. If your revenue doesn't perform, you won't get the money to invest in it. If your revenue doesn't perform and you don't invest it in the things that will create jobs, the young people will come for you at the end of the day. You say you don't have fiscal space. You are doing fiscal discipline. So I was shocked to hear you say that now you have space to buy a new executive jet. Two, actually. You don't have fiscal space. You don't have fiscal space to finish paying the contractors on outstanding projects. But you have fiscal space to buy 2 executive jets. Mr. Speaker, I'm going to conclude by reminding our colleagues, your revenue strategy is not performing. You don't have resources to expend. You are pumping because gold prices is at $4,000. It may not be there forever. You have 2 more budgets to go. I beg of you, spend it doing the real structural issues, not dancing over temporary results. Else, we'll be back here some other time. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Mr. Speaker, my colleague attributed falsehood to me. He attributed falsehood to me. When I stood up yesterday, I said the rate of debt accumulation went into negative territory in many years. In many years. 2021 to 2025 is 14 years. That is in many years. I did not say that it has never gone into negative territory. That is one. 2, Mr. Speaker, this is a House of Records. Mr. Speaker, this is a House of Records. There is no instruction. Mr. Speaker, this is a House of Records.
Honorable Majority Chief Whip, please, I recognize Honorable Adongo. Honorable Adongo, kindly conclude.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, this is a House of Records. Ghana is under an official IMF program. And there are benchmarks and there are prior actions. There is nowhere in the IMF program where there has been an instruction to Ghana not to intermediate in our market, and that there's no letter, there is no official, Master, this is a house of records. This is a house of records. The IMF has not asked the government of Ghana and the Ministry of Finance or the Bank of Ghana to make any announcement in managing its foreign currency. Therefore, the honorable colleague, is not supported by the facts, and this is a house of records. I therefore request that, Mr. Speaker, that should be expunged from the records, because the IMF program is an official record, is an official program, and there is no instruction to the government of Ghana not to manage its foreign currency. And nobody should be allowed to put into the official records that Ghana has been asked to report to the public when it wants to manage its foreign currency. Mr. Speaker, I so submit.
Honourable members, we can make our submission without mentioning a member's name. The rules are very clear. Honourable Kojo Opon Nkrumah, your name has not been mentioned, so I will not give you the floor. I proceed to recognize Honourable Alfred Ni Kote. You have the floor. Honourable Alfred Ni Kote, you have the floor. Well, I will also... Honourable members, order. Yes, Honourable Jerry Ahmed.
Speaker, with all due deference to you, we understand that names are not to be mentioned when we are having debates. Yesterday, my respected colleague, Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah's name was mentioned. He actually stood up trying to catch your attention, which I believe he caught your attention, Speaker. But, Speaker, he was ignored.
Then he didn't catch my eye.
Speaker, Speaker, that's for your attention.
Then I'll proceed to mention Honorable Alikplim Akurugu. You have 5 minutes. Yes, Majority Chihui.
Mr. Speaker, the order of names that we submitted, the next speaker, the next person to comment at this stage should be Gakwe, in the order that we presented to you.
With all due respect, I have the list here. The first on the list is Honorable Fred Agbanyo. Second on the list is Honorable Cletus Sedu Dapila. Third on the list is Honorable Alfred Ni Kote. Fourth on the list is Honorable Alikplim Akurugu. That is the list I have before me.
Mr. Speaker,
so from which
Mr.
list
Speaker,
are you speaking?
That's fine. So Alikplim, please speak.
This is what I have. I don't have any new list. Honorable Alikplim Akurugu, you have the floor. Honorable Alikplim Akurugu, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity to contribute to the debate on the 2026 budget statement and economic policy of the government delivered by the Honorable Minister, Dr. Addo. Mr. Speaker, the agricultural sector remains the backbone of the economy and our lifeline for many million Ghanaian households. As the Speaker, as the Minister rightly said, the agricultural sector has recorded
Honorable Majority Chief Whip, you have no right to ask the member to stop talking.
Mr. Speaker, with all due respect, Mr. Speaker, with all due respect.
But you cannot ask the member to stop talking.
Mr. Speaker, we are supposed
You
to
can
have
draw
you
my attention to something, but you cannot ask the member to stop talking.
The member is speaking and they are making noise. I have every right to draw your attention to it. Mr. Speaker, to tell me that I have no right, it's also not regular.
Order.
Please listen to her in silence.
Honourable members, order.
Why?
Honourable members, order. Honourable Akurugu, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As the minister rightly stated, the agriculture sector has seen a 6% growth, doubling that of last year. The progress is commendable and reflects the resilience of our farmers and growing impact of target interventions. Mr. Speaker, I was surprised to hear or listen to our former Minister for Finance. I don't know what he was saying, but Mr. Speaker, under his watch, the agriculture sector saw an emergency responses, whilst the current budget, which our Honourable Minister Atufosin recorded, is being managed and structural reforms are being formed. The former government acted on emergency relief of 500 million to ease drought and food security, whilst Dr. Atufosin is giving us a driving and a long-term structural reforms for agro growth. Mr. Speaker,
as your name be mentioned,
under the watch of our former minister, he focused on short-term
Honourable Amim, I'm avoiding interruption. So if after her debate you want the floor, I'll give you the floor.
Actions.
Just like what I did for Adongo.
And under our current finance minister, we are seeing pursuing comprehensive long-term reforms through broader financing, value chain development, climate-driven industrialization, and major infrastructure investments. Mr. Speaker, the 2024 budget under the former minister was appropriate for purposes stabilizing food security system during national emergency. Mr. Speaker, it was under his watch when we noticed that donkeys, fertilizers meant for farmers, were being exported and the monies used to buy lands for themselves. Mr. Speaker, under the watch of Honourable Atufosin, he is bringing bold, systematic, investment-driven, and transformational to the economy. It addresses the root causes of agriculture underperformance, builds sustainable value chains, and positions agriculture as a modern economic engine. Mr. Speaker, the 2026 budget deserves commendation for shifting agriculture from survival competitiveness and from crisis management to national development. Mr. Speaker, I thank you for this opportunity. I'm grateful.
Feed Ghana, Farmer Service Center, farm banks, all these are creating jobs for the youth, including our brothers at the other side, including MPP members. All of them are getting jobs under this, unlike the failed projects that they introduced that collapsed under their watch just last year. Mr. Speaker, aside this, we have Youth Employment Agency, we have the digital skills, we have the coders program, we have the digital centers that are opening regional offices to create more jobs for our youth. Mr. Speaker, Youth in Apprenticeship Program has been allocated.
Honourable member, your time is up. I'll give the floor to Honorable Nana Asafo-Adjei. You have 15 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I am grateful for giving me this opportunity to also comment to the budget statement made by the Finance Minister for and on behalf of the President of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, before I begin, I want to pay tribute to the young ladies that lost their lives during the military recruit stampede. Mr. Speaker, I share with their families, and I want to console each and every young man that fell victim as part of that job recruitment stampede. Those from Kumasi, those in Accra, and the rest of the country. Mr. Speaker, this brings me to a very critical and very important point, which is job creation. These young men and women left home to go look for jobs. Mr. Speaker, not just any jobs, but secured, sustainable jobs. That is what they went to look for. Mr. Speaker, when the Finance Minister in 2025 read the budget, some young men of this country were happy. Mr. Speaker, they were happy because in that budget allocation, or in that budget, the Finance Minister made some provision to job creation, and they were happy. Mr. Speaker, he mentioned the National Apprenticeship Program, where he allocated 300 million for that project. Mr. Speaker, he mentioned the Ejumera project or program, where he allocated 100 million to that program. He mentioned the Digital Job Initiative, 1 million coders, and allocated 100 million to that. Then Kokon Kitinkiti, 245 million, and allocated 245 million. The Agriculture for Jobs and the National Employment Trust Fund. Mr. Speaker, when we were doing that budget debate here, I reminded my colleagues at the other side that President John Dramani Mahama, and the hands that will bear me out, is not a new entity in the scheme of things. We know him. He has been a president before, and I recounted the things he mentioned to entice the youth, yet he failed to achieve them. The Speaker, I mentioned the JIDA program. I mentioned the Sada tree planting program. I mentioned the Inconfirm program. I mentioned the youth in beads making. I mentioned the youth in potholes patching. I mentioned the youth in movie making. All these programs were programs the President John Dramani Mahama promised the young people, but ended up in sham. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the appropriation or you look at the disbursement, Mr. Speaker, all the programs I have mentioned here, some of them did not even get any allocation at all. Those who got allocation was not even more than 20% of them. So the young people in this country who were hoping for jobs to be created by the 2025 budget ended up not having any job. Mr. Speaker, again, when you look at the budget here, in the 2026 budget, he has again rehashed and mentioned again these same programs. Mr. Speaker, he mentioned now the Ejumera program again, and now allocated 160 million. He mentioned the Nkukon Kitinkiti allocated 250 million. In the national coders allocated 100 million. Now the National Apprenticeship Program, Mr. Speaker, he mentioned 300 million in the 2025 budget and now reduced it to 100 million in the 2026 budget. Mr. Speaker, now in the 2024 budget, they didn't mention any figure, but told us in this house that the national coordinator for the 24-hour program will come to this house. Mr. Speaker, he came to this house, put out his figures, and the program was launched. In the launch of that program, they mentioned that the 24-hour program the flagship program of the NDC, the Speaker, would require 4 billion to do that. Now, in that document, the component of government commitment to that 4 billion, the Speaker, will be 7% of that 4 billion. Now, when you do 7% of that 4 billion, it is $280 million. The Speaker, when you look into the allocation of the 2026 budget, the minister and the government allocated 110 million. The Speaker, 110 million in dollars is $11 million, which is 3.92% of the allocation that is supposed to say. Mr. Speaker, the question we are asking is that, is this government committed to job creation? Is the youth who are looking up to this government that is going to create jobs should still be hoping and looking forward that jobs will indeed be created? Mr. Speaker, again in the budget, there were some components of jobs that were mentioned. Mr. Speaker, they mentioned that they were going to create 800,000 jobs. And the 800,000 jobs, 490,000 of that 800,000 jobs are going to come from Big Push. Because first and foremost, the allocation to the Big Push is questionable based on the 2025 allocation or disbursement. 2, the jobs that are available, when you look at the World Bank report, Mr. Speaker, I have it here. The World Bank report is saying that only 13% of Ghanaian young men have sustainable jobs. And majority of the Ghanaians who are out there, those who died in Ewak, those who were stampeded in Kumasi, are skilled laborers and professionals. The Speaker, yet the major component of the jobs that will be created by the 800,000 jobs are going to be laborer and pongpo work. The Speaker, now out of the 800,000 jobs, 250,000 of that jobs is going to come from the National Oil Policy, National Policy on Oil Palm Development Program. Mr. Speaker, it's a good initiative. I commend it. But Mr. Speaker, what is interesting is that in that budget, in the 2026 budget, paragraph 929, Mr. Speaker, in that budget, it is stating that the Oil Palm Development Program is a program that is spanning from 2026 to 2032. So, Mr. Speaker, the 250,000 jobs they are even mentioning, it's not 2016, it is 2032. Mr. Speaker, and yet again, it is not a sustainable job, it is a temporary job. Mr. Speaker, I want to submit on this point. And say that, Mr. Speaker, the youth of this country has been deceived. The youth of this country who were queuing and singing, Mahama is a oh, is a oh. Mr. Speaker, they have ended up. Mr. Speaker, they have ended up. The youth now have ended up singing, Mahama Dadamia, Mahama Dadamio, Mahama Dadamia, Jejemia Kukume. Mr. Speaker, what is again important here? What is important here is that are we in a music studio? There is, Mr. Speaker, what is important here is that there is a hidden agenda. There's a hidden agenda of non-job creation, the austerity measures of IMF hidden in this budget. Mr. Speaker, I take you back to the 2025 budget. Mr. Speaker, we go to page 84, paragraph 478. Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I read. In 2025, government would implement the following measures to keep the wage bill within sustainable levels. 1, fully implement the net freeze on employment by immediately putting on hold all recruitment, placement into public services. Mr. Speaker, this again the public services, and the recruitment did not find expression in the 2026 budget. Mr. Speaker, it is telling you that the hidden IMF agenda of austerity measure is playing here, and the youth of this country, Mr. Speaker, have no hope, have nowhere to turn to. Mr. Speaker, I again want to submit to the youth who are hoping and looking forward to the president and to this government to give them jobs, that there is no commitment of this government in creating jobs. None. Mr. Speaker, a government that is interested in creating jobs, Mr. Speaker, now allocate 290 million for the distribution of sanitary pads. Distribution of sanitary pads. And now, Mr. Speaker, allocate 100 million for the training of 1 million coders. Mr. Speaker, the youth out there, I am telling you that the distribution of sanitary pad is more important to the NDC government than the training of coders he mentioned. Mr. Speaker, the National Apprenticeship Program has been allocated 170 million, yet the sanitary pad has been allocated 292 million. Mr. Speaker, the Ejumera has been allocated 160 million, while the sanitary pad has been allocated 292 million. Mr. Speaker, I am not surprised that all these things put together is telling the youth of this country that the hope is hopeless and there is nothing to look up for in the NDC administration or the NDC budget, particularly the 2026 budget. Mr. Speaker, I am saddened that the president makes some mentions of allocations in the budget, yet nothing was done about it. So it gives me so much problem or difficulty to believe and accept the allocations that were mentioned in the 2026 budget. Mr. Speaker, in paragraph 629, Mr. Speaker, in paragraph 629, it mentioned the creation of the whole airport and making it a training hub. Mr. Speaker, nothing of that happened. Now, when you come to the 2026 budget, it mentioned again in paragraph 999 that the Bolgatanga airport will be created. Mr. Speaker, if I'm somebody in Bolgatanga, I will not believe this government, because even the whole people have not even had their budget in their allocation to the airport in 2025. Mr. Speaker, again, he mentioned that in 2025 budget, that there is an allocation of 242.5 million to the victim support of Akosomo Dam spillage. Mr. Speaker, that support to the Akosomo Dam spillage never happened. Now they are making another allocation in the 2025-26 budget that 500 million is being allocated to the dam spillage, victims of the dam spillage. Mr. Speaker, I ask that, is it an addition to the 242 million that was in the 2025 budget, or they have scrapped the 42.5 million and they are now giving them a new 500 million? Mr. Speaker, clearly for me, the commitment of the government to job creation is questionable, it's in doubt, and it's not something we must place our head. Mr. Speaker, I am not surprised that the president is rather now committing to the purchase of an aircraft, a presidential jet, helicopter, and a ship at the cost of $1.2 billion. Mr. Speaker, that argument, our side still holds, and our argument, we still stand by it. Mr. Speaker, with these few words, Mr. Speaker, that was admitted by the majority. Mr. Speaker, that's fair. Our position and our price, the prices for the purchase of the aircraft, Mr. Speaker, is 1.2 billion, and we are surprised that there are important commitments that need to be done for the young people of this country to have jobs. Yet, the NDC government is interested in purchasing and procuring aircrafts and presidential jets.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click on the bell for more updates.